co to?
Historię, ja ci zadam pytanie.
No.
Okay?
I'm live.
Huh? But we are under the sun. It's better
Yeah.
to go with the sun, right?
Yeah, let's go.
We can go from the other side, probably.
Sure.
Let's go over there. Idziemy tam, bo to odkręci. You can try it down here, so you can go here and make them feel peaceful.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask a question, especially if you're not English. Probably would be better here you instead, right? So we are in the name of this place is a tomb, T-U-M, and this church we're gonna ask Zbyszek about the history of this church, okay? But he doesn't speak English, so I'm gonna ask him in Polish, and then I'm gonna translate to English, okay? Zbyszek, ten kościół został zbudowany kiedy?
W XII wieku.
Patrzcie na kamerę.
W XII wieku po śmierci Bolesława Krzywoustego. Jego żona, wdowa była fundatorką tego kościoła.
Okay. I thought the church is already 1000 years old, but he says it was 12th century. What king was? Jaki król był w tym czasie?
Książę Bolesław Krzywousty.
Okay. It was built by prince who became later a king. Bolesław Krzywousty. I think translate to English it is that crooked lips. Okay? He probably had a crooked lips, and that's why the name was Crooked Lips. Bolesław Krzywousty.
Jaki pseudonim miał. No.
Pseudonym, okay. Pseudo. It was pseudo. So when they built the church in 12th century, okay, it is basically original way like this, okay.
Mury oryginalne są.
Yeah.
Wielokrotnie zresztą były tam czyszczone, wzmacniane swoiny.
Okay, it was basically in the shape like this now, but what I understand, they did a little bit remodeling inside, you know, to bring to the original way.
W stylu romańskim. In
a Roman style. So we're gonna go around now the church. Maybe we see if it's open. If not, then we're just gonna go around the church. But this church is about 10 kilometers from Ozorków, from my city. So I've been, when I was teenager, I came many times. There was a Cardinal Wyszyński here in this church, so I came just to see, but I couldn't get inside because there was too many people around and too many police also, you know.
All right, let's go check it out.
Let's go to see if it's open inside. But we also Zbyszek gonna tell you about the history of the devil Boruta, who tried to destroy this church.
Legenda.
Devil Baruta.
I forgot to put the microphone.
It's okay. The microphone's connected to the Sony. The
Okay,
Sony's
so
not on.
Do I have to put?
Not at this moment.
Okay.
If I record with the Sony, then you can. I'll tell you to turn on the microphone. Dzień dobry. Hey guys, so as you heard from my dad, we're at the 1,000-year-old church. Well, it's not quite 1,000 years old, it's from the 12th century. That is right outside of my dad's hometown. I've visited this church many times, coming here to Poland every time. Ooh, this looks like I can get some nice pictures. I'll swing back soon. Oh, and there's some 19th century windmills that are close by, so we'll check that out afterwards.
To jest XVIII wiek. Tylko. Będzie zmiana. XVIII wiek.
Exactly, 1,000-year-old ideas are important as well.
Should I put the microphone on?
No.
It looks very cool. You see the little bit original, of course, was a little bit cleaned up. As the time makes difference. So, we have John Paul II little statue. I think that's the John Paul II, right?
Yes.
This is John Paul II. It's John Paul II. 1929, when the Germans invaded Poland.
Yeah, the signal's bad inside of here.
Polish army and Germans here at the river Sudan.
So I'm going to be recording other video that won't be live streamed. So when I compile that video, you'll be able to see a more clear picture of what it's like inside of the thick walls of this 1,000-year-old church.
The walls are not gonna be burned. So the roof, which has a lot of history, when the Swedish came to Poland in the 16th century, they invaded Poland for 5 years. And the Polish army was not too far. They built, from the ground, so they can protect this area. But I think they couldn't stop the Swedish from invading because Polish army and Poland was very weak at the time. That's why they took the advantage. But eventually, they organized by Czarnecki guerrilla war, and after 5 years, they kicked the Swedish out from Poland. And the soldier named Czarnecki, he became a hero, and he's in Polish Atom now. His name is in Polish Atom.
Adam says hi, by the way.
W latach 50. wzmocniono fundamenty pod całym kościołem metodą zespalania gruntu. Taki inżynier był Cebertowicz, on opracował taką metodę i wzmocniono cały grunt pod tym kościołem.
Okay. The basement level was fixed by heating up, so it got stronger. I don't think we can go to the basement, but You can see the Polish people are already Christian from 12th century. It took about 200 years to become a Christian. The first Christianity Poland brought to 1966. 9,000 years ago by Prince, his name was Mieszko, when he married a princess of
To okienko to mnie kiedyś tam służyły za strzelnicy z łuku.
Ja to właśnie co wytłumaczyłem teraz, dlaczego są takie
No.
porobione.
Here, Dad, hold this one.
A widzisz, to robi, to właśnie robi, że
Stabilizuje.
Ja stabilizuję.
No to dobrze.
Jakbyś poszedł, to jak patrzysz się, to widzisz tak równolegle, nie trzęsie nic.
No, właśnie mówię. Ale mam taką sprawę, bo rzadko tak się zdarza, że jak ktoś zrobił z wolnej ręki.
Let's see.
Te sklepienia to są w stylu gotyckim.
Yeah, Adam, for sure is still cold even inside the church. It's very cold here. So, you happy that you are in Mexico? In a warm weather, yeah. But it's not that bad, you know. If you put a warm jacket.
Okay, let me see. Microphone on.
Jakieś konkretne?
Yeah, nie za bardzo konkretnie.
Nie.
But know of history of Poland connecting to this church, especially that when they're sweeping this church. So, but I think they conquered the Polish army. That's why we have a hero. Is the Swedish out from Poland.
Co ty o Czarneckim tu mówiłeś?
Że wyrzucił Szwedów.
No ale to raczej...
Nie, ale to wiesz, to i tak. Trzeba coś mu powiedzieć, nie?
Tylko legenda jest, że tu było kopy szwedzkie. To są pozostałości tego grodu.
Aha.
Jeszcze tam z czasów pogańskich. A później na ludzie nazwali, że to są szwedzkie okopy, ale to nie były pisać.
I was 14 years old when I came to that church and they showed me where the hand fingerprints are on the wall when he grabbed it and tried to destroy the church.
No co, nie ma pana?
Nie, coś nie znaleźliśmy. I guess we cannot find it anymore.
Nie, no musi być. Jakieś przyjęcia tam różne.
A ten drugi to też należy do
Tak,
tych obok.
tak,
Ja,
tak.
to znaczy, że dobrze im się powodzi.
Tak
to.
wygląda.
Yeah.
Znaczy to były bogate wioski, nie? To tu
Nie.
to było... O, tu jest ciepło.
Yeah, na słońcu jest okay. Yeah. Once you come to the sunny side, it's much warmer than in the shade. And of course, God is always stronger than the evil.
Wojtyła.
No w tym, byliśmy w tym pałacu Manufaktur. To zdjęcie są pokazane tego
A to
Edwarda
później.
Kennedy'ego.
A no to był w Częstochowie chyba.
I odwiedził ten pałac.
A może i był.
No i zdjęcia są pokazane na tego, to znaczy, że był.
No może i tu był też. Ja tam nie pamiętam już dokładnie, bo to wiesz, tyle lat. To...
Muszę rękę schować, bo
Zmarzła?
zmarzła mi. Okay, we can go, Toś?
I just discovered filming in 120 and I'm like so thrilled.
Okay.
Dad's like, I don't know.
You want to back the camera?
No, you man the live stream.
Why he's saying that the video is not that good right now?
Because the
Connection?
connection's not good.
Okay. Up to Tara, the connection is not that good. Okay, so we're gonna, after this, we're gonna go to Łęczyca to show you the castle in Łęczyca. Actually, what I understand, the Łęczyca castle, and there was some kind of under tunnel, so people could escape from the church to the castle. But I don't know if this is the truth or not.
Idziemy tam, chcesz zobaczyć coś?
A co tam jest?
Jest no gród, kiedyś Łęczyca, gdzie...
O, tu za, okej.
To ci mówiłem, że tu jest pozostałości, są potem mówili, że to są okopy.
Aha.
A to nie są okopy, to są pozostałości po grodzie Łęczyca.
O, to znaczy ten gród, ale to nie był...
Gród był wcześniej, przed kościołem.
Aha.
Tyle, że później Kazimierz Wielki, jak to tam wiesz, chodziło powiedzenie,
Aha.
zastał Polskę drewnianą, a zostawił murowaną.
To wybudował tą Łęczycę.
Tak, no nie tylko Łęczyca, ale...
Aha, bo ja słyszałem, że ten Kazimierz Wielki to też był playboy.
No,
Wtedy jak pojechał na Węgry, to tam zapłodził jakąś tam księżniczkę.
ale nie miał syna żadnego.
Nie. A no, nie miał szczęścia do
No
pozostawienia
Potomka.
tego i dlatego nie wiem,
No, wymarł na nim praktycznie
Tak.
ród, no.
yeah,
Tylko tam...
Casimir the Great died, he didn't leave a son, and basically they considered him two churches, he gonna forgive him, but after that, I don't know, the daughter of from Hungary, we call him as a Ludwig Węgierski, which means Ludwig Hungarian, his daughter to Poland, and she became a queen of Poland.
Yeah, I'll take the camera.
To był chyba... ale miał Kazimierza... Dlaczego dostała tam posłuskę?
Kazimierz Wielki tam pojechał na Węgry i tam wprowadzała mi się jakaś tam Węgierka, księżniczka czy coś. I dawał chorego i on...
Hey guys, I know the Sim's the best it could be, I guess. We're using a T-Mobile SIM. We're out in the countryside right now, so I'm sure the reception is not great at all. I'm gonna look into getting an encoder, one of those solo live solo use or whatever. I was researching it. It's about like $1,000, but I think since I do a lot of live streams, it's quite painful to have all the buffering always going on, but I have been filming with my GoPro and my Sony, so I'll be compiling that into a nice video for you guys. But basically when we go live like this, it's going to be more the behind the scenes and just, you know, shooting the shit. All right, so we're going to go over to Łęczyca now.
I think you want to stop on that.
Yeah, I want to stop by over at the 19th century windmill. All right, let's head that way, Dad.
Yeah, możemy.
Are we going to drive or are we going to walk?
No, we're gonna go to Małgorzata Hill,
Okay.
which is
Też stary
about
kościół.
3 miles from here.
Trochę
Okay.
młodszy od
It's a
tego.
Another church? Okay, that's cool. I want to see that windmill.
ona chce zobaczyć te wiatrak.
No to możemy podjechać, co? Czy idziemy na pieszo?
Bo do,
It's so funny. The stream will like cut in and out, and I'll stay in the same spot.
Jak to chce.
do Łęczycy, to tędy czy
No to trzeba tu wrócić, no.
tu tędy, tak?
No.
No to
Chicago Polish in the house.
No.
Yeah. All right, let's go, Dad.
chociaż trochę się rozgrzeje.
Dad doesn't like holding the camera equipment because his hands get cold. It's like a road trip.
Ale mało.
Mało.
Nie, tam w Kanadzie, tu mało.
Hey, Dad, I'll give you this
Na
one.
cmentarz wtedy?
Hey, Dad,
A?
you mend this one.
Okay, we are in Hill of Małgorzata. This is a cemetery. If you notice, the cemetery is much different than in the United States, right? Look at that, the cemetery.
Tu nie ma tak za dużo starych grobów.
Nie.
Są współczesne raczej. Ten z piaskowca może jest.
Well, one thing the American don't go too much in a cemetery once they bury the loved ones. That's probably it, you know. But
Widzisz daty tam?
in Poland, the cemetery it is like a place where you can come and put your mind in a relaxation. So that's why it is different than America.
No nie wiem, którego to jest. Ten będzie stary. Ten jest stary.
Yeah, if you look at this one, is 1891. That person lived for 1928, so very young, too young to die. And mostly of this is new graves.
Gdzieś tu są jeszcze groby z tych z bitw z 39 września. 39 roku z bitwy no, żołnierzy, ale nie wiem gdzie. Gdzieś tam są. No. Bo tu na tych polach to się właśnie ta bitwa rozgrywała.
If you see even far away, Poland looks very clean. Look at even the graves. It seems like every day somebody coming here and cleaning up. Okay, we can go to
Look at this shot. Watch. See, look how dramatic. Cool, right?
goes slow motion.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Okay.
No,
That's
też
a
jest
cool
stary
shot.
ten.
Yeah, it's very old grave, but I don't cannot even read what year is that.
Nie wiadomo. Pozacierało się wszystko, nie widać.
I think they just keeping in a memory because every 20 years you have to renew And, pay. I don't know how much is it.
Oh
But-
yeah, it's like you're renting a plot.
Yeah.
Cemeteries are like you're renting plots. And
It's
they're
not
only
renting.
for what,
You're
like,
buying for a certain amount of year. Of
And after
years.
that, they,
yeah.
like-
I think every 20 years you have to renew it. Otherwise, somebody else will buy and bury somebody else on this spot.
Very elaborate though.
A gdzie tam Klara się zapędziła? Z
A,
powrotem?
ją to trudno
Trudno
odgadnąć,
rozszyfrować.
rozszyfrować. ja.
Ma jakiś swój cel. Tak. No nie wiem, gdzie tych żołnierzy są tak zrobione.
No już. You can go to
Możemy poszukać.
one more which seems very old. I'm not sure if the family are still taking care.
Stary,
Yeah, another old one, but I think somebody bury after, and they just
1910 rok.
well, yeah, he's quite old because that person died in 1910. And this is also very old. That person died 1912.
Gdzieś z góry Małgorzata leży.
Okay.
Właściciel
Właściciel czego tego?
tego tutaj wioski.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This one is the owner is buried here. He's supposed to own the whole village here.
The owner?
Yeah. Yeah, it says owner.
Dziedzic z tej wsi.
Owner of the village. But he lived only 47 years. And okay, let's go to church now. Yeah, and this here is the church name Góra Świętej Małgorzaty, which in translation is Saint Małgorzata Hill. I think chyba tędy, nie?
No, no.
After this one, we're gonna go to the windmill, yeah. After we're gonna see this church. It will be on our way back, so Tara wants to see the windmill. Yeah, well, if you receive the bad connection, that's because we are far away from the towers. Okay. I don't know if you see it, but this is a hill. We have to go up the hill. Actually, I have to tell you, I've never been in this church, even if it's only, I would say, 20 kilometers from my city, Ozorków. Zobacz jak tego. Tu płasko, a od razu taka
no to,
górka.
Wiesz, tu szedł ten, jak lodowiec.
Aha, to popchnął te.
Tak. Na słoneczny dzień to z Maskowskich bloków to widać tą górę.
Aha.
Ten kościół. Dzisiaj pewno by nie było widać, bo trochę jest zamglone tak jakby, nie?
Aha. No.
No jest to i. To przyszło z 5 km tak pod górkę. Tam ma elegancką plebanię, to tu sobie postawił.
To ksiądz też?
Tak.
Aha. O, i to jest jego prywatne?
Nie, no niby to parafialne.
To
No.
parafialne.
No.
Przecież oni tam dużo pieniędzy nie dostają.
Ja, to w szkołach uczą to zostaje.
Ale nieraz jakiś bogatszy to im zostawia.
No
Nie ma
to nie.
dzieci, czy się wkurzy na rodzinę i
Tak,
zostawiają tego kościołom.
znaczy tu jest elegancko plebania. Nie wiem po co
Aha.
tutaj. Na siłę.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there is like 30-degree Fahrenheit here. I feel cold, little bit warmer because when you walk, it is better to raise the body temperature. I believe this church can be closed now, so I don't think we can go inside, but we're gonna go around and show you. It's up the hill that you see now the view from here. It was nicer when the trees in summertime, especially in springtime when everything starts blooming. It's very pleasant to breathe here.
Can you guys tell I'm having a lot of fun with my GoPro right now?
No, wiesz, jako inwestycję to Kościół też robi jakąś
no, ale
taką...
to się bardziej podoba niż tam.
Yeah.
Stylowe jest trochę, nie?
Yeah.
Workowate. A tam to właśnie urypane.
but I think the church is, I'm sure it's closed.
Yeah,
You
let's
want to
go.
try the door
Yeah.
and see if the church is,
Zamknięte na pewno.
yeah. Yeah, of course, February in Poland it is very cold, even you don't see the snow, but the temperature,
I
You know,
always
it's
think
very
it's warmer
cold.
when it does snow. It's like the air is just releasing itself, so it's warm when it snows.
yeah, okay, we cannot go inside the church. It is closed.
Patrz jaki tam wszędzie płaski teren, nie?
Yeah, very. It's kind of hard to believe how the earth was formed because you see very flat around here, okay, and then the hill up.
So, Dad, if you ever want to face it towards you, just tap over
Yeah,
here.
it's okay.
Oh.
No, it's okay. Just leave it like
Yeah, I'm
this.
totally complicating it. Tap, tap. There we go. So if you just tap,
Okay.
it flips it. Tap.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
Just
I'm,
leave it.
I'm teaching my dad how to be cameraman and stuff. So he's gonna man the live stream, so I can man the other two cameras.
But probably of my old age, I will forget anyway.
You have to
So-
learn. I need a cameraman to
Well,
travel the
you-
world with me.
You have to hire somebody.
Do you hear that? Or the position's open to be my cameraman, so that way I can be the host.
Czy pytają?
Ja tu zadaję pytanie, widzisz, to co tutaj to każdy zadaje pytanie.
I co, ktoś musi odpowiedzieć, czy nie?
No to ja
To
mówię,
odpowiadasz?
jak przeczytam, jak tu napisał mi, wygląda bardzo spokojnie, a drugi napisał, cześć ze Szwecji, jak to się nazywa, ten na północ od
Co to?
Szkocji,
Aha.
ze Szkocji,
No.
Maureen from Scotland, hi.
A co wygląda na spokojnego?
Scooter, yeah, you should come to Poland. It's a beautiful country, yeah. Especially you probably saw it, the Warsaw. And look at this. Poland is very cold in February. I mean, if you put a good jacket like me, you know, you're still okay, but, you know, and a little bit green. That looks nice. It's not that much traffic here. Yeah, it's you know, compared to the time when I was here, when you could count in Poland cars, you can count on your fingers. Now it is many cars now. But it's not like in America, where you everybody have to have a car to get to even to the store. Here the stores are very close to you, walking distance. And if your store, let's say you are in a village and the store is farther, you can use a bicycle and get to the store. But I, as you noticed before, there's a lot of churches and beautiful cemeteries.
There we go.
Budynki teren, bo nie będzie się nawet schować. I lasu, ani jakiś ten pagórku.
Hi.
Jak na
I'm relieving my dad's hands from holding the gimbal right now.
27 Dywizja Piechoty.
Stream health is
27
decent.
Dywizja Piechoty niemieckiej. Niemcy to właśnie w kierunku tam już modnym.
Przecież wiedzieli, jak Niemcy są silni, powinni się rozbudować. I Rosjanom jakby powiedzieli, okej, nie problem, poddajemy się, jesteście silniejsi.
No,
I na pewno nie byłoby Katynia, tylko gdzieś tam by ich zesłali do tego. A wiesz, honor nam nie pozwala, jak honor wam nie pozwala, to idziecie do domu. A co z tego, jaki pożytek jest z tego
nieboszczyka?
Nieboszczyka. Żydzi się nie bili, nie?
Co?
Żydzi się nie
We
bili,
are in the
bo
city of
byli
Tum.
Ja się biję.
We are in Tum. So it's not Łódź, but I love Łódź. Like I wanted to, in 2018, pre-COVID times, I just had a fantastic time with there. All of the streets, like the beautiful streets and the cafes. There's a lot to do there. Give you guys a view of the divinity. So the hill overlooks the cemetery we were in. Definitely. Oh my gosh, I tried this flip this around. I tried this pastry in Warsaw yesterday. It's like a cone, an empty cone. I got it filled with white chocolate and coconut, and it was so good. Initially when she said, you know, like 6-7 minutes for it, I'm like, but then when I had it, I'm like, well worth the wait. But I am definitely in the mood for one of those like cone pastries, and then hot coffee. That'd be fantastic.
Z tego, że się postawię i nie zlikwiduję. Nie ma żadnej wartości.
You know, I don't think we're that far from the remnants of the radio mast. You know what I'm talking about, the radio mast? That was known as the world's tallest structure before, but it's been destroyed now. But the radio mast, it was taller than the, I don't know, like now the tallest building in the world is what, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, but it rivaled that.
Okay.
All right. Are we gonna stop by those windmills?
I wouldn't mind if it would be a little bit warmer here, but stay longer because it is very peaceful here, very relaxing. Yeah, but
I want to go see those windmills. The 19th century windmills. You know how Trump feels about windmills. Let's go see them.
Żebro za żebro i Maria zaszło.
trafisz
Jo.
Where are we going now?
to the windmills.
Yay! To the windmills!
Jedziemy tam do
Yeah, yeah.
tej
Hear
zagrody
that? I'm like,
polskiej.
to the windmills!
Do Łęczycy i to wszystko.
Co do Łęczycy jeszcze chcę oglądać? Co?
A no, chyba wystarczy. That's going to be enough, just windmill and Łęczyca, right there?
Yeah, I think for today. Got a lot to record and edit. Maybe tomorrow we can go zjeść.
Well, we
What
have
is
to
tomorrow?
check what's
Wednesday.
going on. Maybe we can leave Saturday. Okay? Because if we're not going to leave Saturday, we have to wait another 5 days.
Gotcha. I think when I get back into the US, I've been
It's
following
a little bit forgot to leave with my diet.
Dad's a health nut, so he doesn't have the same food here. Oops. This way. I'm gonna go to Minnesota when we get back to the States. You guys know what's going on in Minnesota, right? matter what the verdict's going to be in Chauvin's case, it's not going to be enough for the lefties. How long do you guys think the case is going to be the trial is going to be going on for? I think it's going to go on for, I don't know, when I was asking other people's opinions, some think it's going to be like 2 weeks, others think it's going to be like a month and a half, but I'll be monitoring because I do plan in being in Minnesota when the verdict is released, announced. Oh yeah, do some metal detecting. I think we'd find some treasures. New evidence. He took drugs in the cop car. Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't watch yesterday's coverage of the trial because it was a travel day. So I have to catch up and see what was said during the trial from yesterday. But he even took more drugs inside of the car, the police car. Yeah, I'm actually thinking the same thing, that the cops are going to be found not guilty. I mean, like I hear, you know, different things from the different autopsy reports. What did they write down in the death certificate? You know, one of the things that I am very much into would be if I could be like a treasure hunter going through Europe looking for the stolen treasures of World War II, because you know the Nazis took so much of Europe's artwork and a lot of it was never found. I think that would be amazing to go and try and, you know, hunt down the Amber Room. That would be an awesome show. Go chase down the treasures of Europe that were taken by the Nazis. You know what? I was thinking when they upped it to a second-degree murder, like there's a lot of things that are required to be proven to have a second-degree murder charge. So my thoughts is when they escalated it to second degree is that they actually wanted, you know, Chauvin to walk. Because maybe, you know, I could see manslaughter or anything without, you know, knowing nothing from nothing and just seeing what evidence has been made publicly available and seeing the footage. Sure, like, could manslaughter be possible? Sure. But then when they escalated it to second degree murder, I'm like, I don't think there's enough to prove that. Because it seemed like they were then overcharging. So, you know, I guess like the typical American's not going to know the difference, or average person's not possibly going to know the difference between like the levels of the murder charges. But if you overcharge and then the person walks. Let's see. Too brave for my own good. It's funny when on MLK Day when one of those Antifa type people like hit me from behind, and then afterwards I was capping with my dad. He messages me and he's like, "Oh, your microphone's better without the microphone." It's like they just want to have the highest charge thrown at the person, but not without realizing if you overcharge, the person's gonna walk. And then we have double jeopardy, so it's not like they can try and go first degree and then try again second degree and have a trial, like so many trials. Yeah, exactly. Murder needs intent, and so that's why I'm like, you know, it could be manslaughter because like he didn't intentionally kill him. And then also the drugs that were in his system, which is, you know, a known thing. I think Chauvin's going to be found not guilty if the charge is second degree. And definitely people are going to be rioting over it. like that people are not going to care the reason why. I mean, you have, it's like they find stories that fit the narrative. Ooh, let me switch the camera. We're approaching this area now. Let me show you. I love talking politics and sightseeing at the same time. This is probably how my channel's gonna survive not being taken down, because we can talk politics with a pretty background, and I can put these under travel videos. All right, so we're passing by a 1,000-year-old church again. Okay, so when we entered Poland, we did have a negative COVID test because that was required to come into the U.S. from Mexico, but they actually didn't check. Mexico checked it to get into the U.S., but from the U.S. through Frankfurt to Poland, they didn't check it. So this is where I want to take you guys, over here to this windmills. That looks really interesting. Whoops, sorry.
This is the original way from 19th century.
Yeah, if they're original from the 19th century, the windmills. Yay! Whoops. Let's turn this thing on. Ah, gotta get closer.
Trzeba stanąć gdzieś. Nie wiem, czy nas puszczą.
To z daleka tylko.
Jakaś odźwierna jest.
Do it from the. I don't think there is anything interesting inside. Ja nie myślę, że
It looks cool though. Just from the outside.
Zobaczymy, co powiedzą.
All right, Dad, handing you this one.
A tylko z daleka zrobimy.
Nie będziemy czekać.
No nie wchodzimy, tylko stąd.
Are we allowed to walk around on the outside?
Huh?
Are we allowed to walk around?
In April will be open.
Oh, so it's closed right now?
It's closed, yeah.
All right, let me take some footage from afar. Here, hold this.
Okay, this is 19th century original village, how it looks like. You see the roof is made from straw, and
48, Dad.
1848. Yeah, it's 1848, so that's actually make 18th century. Okay, but even if it's 18th century, I remember when I was going to Mom's village, the buildings look the same thing, the straw roof, and was painted white like that, you know, exactly like this the houses looks like. Okay, so this village is like a museum now, and if you see from the farther, you can see the castle of Łęczyca. It's just like you can see the tower. That's where we're gonna go next, to that castle. And to remind you, that castle is about 10 kilometers from my city. I mean, the city where I was raised and born.
To wiele się nazywało, to co pisze 1848.
1848?
No jak to się nazywało, takie coś?
A
Do czego to służyło?
ziemianka
No,
wiem, że na wsi to ziemniaki.
Ziemniaki,
Ziemniaczane.
i mięso też.
Na zimę było przygotowane. Ziemlanka, tak?
Sklep mówili, sklep na to.
O, sklep.
What is this village called, Dad?
Huh?
What is this called? The village?
Well, it still belongs to Tum.
Let me see what does.
Tum, yeah. This one, where you see this sign 1848, I don't know if you can see from a distance, but that was actually Polish refrigerator, where they keep the fruits, vegetables, even meat for the winter time. So it was natural refrigerator.
Oh, this thing here is a refrigerator?
Yeah, natural refrigerator. That's where they keep the food for the winter time. And from here you see the 1,000 years old church, Tum. Not like a tombstone, no. Tombstone was in Arizona, and this is just, you call Tum. Okay, the name of the village is a Tum, T-U-M.
Skansen zapas zimowy sen. Zobacz, zapisane.
Well, you see some probably children draw these paintings in a school.
Bo zobaczyłem w kwietniu.
Yeah, and the village will be open in April, I think, because of the COVID or because it's cold. I think because of the COVID, yeah. This lady, she's just watching, so nobody will come in, you know.
Jak ja byłem z Miłoszem, to przestawialiśmy ten wiatrak, wiesz, żeby do wiatru ustawić.
Pause your microphone for a moment.
Huh?
Pause your microphone.
Oh, it's not done?
No, turn it off for a moment.
Oh,
That
turn
way I
it
can
off.
record myself doing the intro with it.
Tam pilnuje.
Huh?
Czego na to pilnuje?
A no, na pewno już są tacy, co by wchodzili,
weszli.
nie? Yeah.
Nawet się oparli, to by weszli. No co wy sobie?
Ja,
Policja by
no i
zadzwoniła.
Original village life.
może tego, nawet by jakieś napisy porobili
No
po
tak,
meksykańsku,
różne,
nie?
różne pomysły mają. To jest tak.
One moment, guys. So we've got original Polish village life behind me. So this is a museum now, but it is closed until April because of COVID time, so we can't go in. But off in the distance, you can see we've got, it says 1848, so it's a 19th century village style windmill. We know how Trump feels about windmills, but right there, there's a windmill. Maybe he was referring to how like these days windmills are just as archaic as this. I don't know. But yes, so behind me is a 19th century style village, still preserved, 1848. And my dad was telling me that this little guy over here is an original refrigerator. So could you imagine living back then? No refrigerator in the house. You have to go outside in the dead of winter. Actually, in Poland, it's frigidly cold during the winter. You gotta go outside from the farmhouse to your refrigerator over here. Well, we won't even talk about the bathrooms.
Yeah, the bathroom was also outside. You had to watch that when you shit, it won't freeze to your ass.
Alright, I think I got the footage I wanted here. Cool. Alright, since we can't go inside.
You want one?
Alright, I'll hold it. One moment. Let me just put this
I
thing.
can give you the card.
Let me grab that thing from you. There we go. Oh yeah, that's true. Isn't it regarding Chauvin? So Chauvin has federal problems. If he gets a relatively light sentence, Biden's feds will hammer him for
pasu chyba, nie?
for not filing taxes. Seatbelt?
Seatbelt, yeah.
Mamy się pali kontrolka.
My body, my choice. There we go.
To ja może nie zapiąłem. Dobrze, bo się pali dalej. Nie wiem, co się pali.
Ale to jak z tyłu nie zapalony, to się gaśnie.
Co?
Bo z tyłu jak...
Nie wiem, co za kontrolka się zapaliła.
No to może te drzwi.
Może drzwi nie zamknięte. No!
Znowu mi tę kurtkę przycięło.
Ja myślałem, że pasja, to się paliło pewno sobie.
I don't really understand Polish. I can speak it like a 2-year-old. Oh, the cost of living here compared to the US is a lot less. It's 4 zloty to a US dollar. So when you go out to like even eat at a nice restaurant, your meal would be probably about like $5 to $7 at like a mid-range restaurant. Dad, what is like, they're asking about the cost of living in Poland. What is like an average cost for rent in a like in your village, or what would it compare to in Warsaw?
What's that?
They're asking about what is the cost of living in Poland compared to the US.
Well, of course, Warsaw is a little bit higher because people have better jobs and have money over there. But if you live outside, like in my little city, I'm sure it's about halfway to the American lifestyle. Especially if you have a home, it's very cheap. You know, for my house, I pay $5,000 just taxes, okay? And compared here, you just pay like maybe $200 a year. You know, that's a big saving too, and comes to the cost of living. You know.
And a lot of Poland has a lot of like small towns and villages that, as my dad was saying, it's a lot cheaper to be living in those areas. How much would it cost for like an apartment in Azorkov or a blockie in Azorkov versus like maybe Warsaw?
Well, if you live in a blockie, of course there is administration, but you don't have to worry about heating. Most of the blockie, which is condominium, the administration is heating up. So monthly to the administration you pay like 700 zloty, which is right now like $150 a month. You know. So if you compare to heat up my house in Florida, I spend on electricity about $300, $400. So you see how much saving you have here. But of course, if you work in here, then your wages are much lower.
Łęczyc?
Now we are in Łęczyca now, close to the castle. So we let you to see the castle. I don't know about the inside, but just outside. Now the castle is minimized to the, just left over because the wall was very big, around the Łęczyca. But Right now it's just a little bit left over.
Oh, Devon, thanks. Be sure you guys hit that like button. This is a cute square.
This is Łęczyca Square. You know, which looks a little bit like in Warsaw Square. I don't know if you remember.
No, parkowanie płatne to jest.
It's very colorful.
Gdzie to się kupuje te Ja nie wiem gdzie. Gdzie tu? No jest parkomat. Masz drobne?
Mam nadzieję, że... Ja mam drobne. Ale mam nadzieję, że że bierze te drobne.
Ja nie wiem. A nikogo nie ma. Kiedyś tu parking był zawsze zawalony. A teraz jak płatny to...
You know what was a nice Polish film that I had seen? Oh, it was produced out of here, but Loving Vincent. It's the first fully painted film, and it's based on the life of Vincent van Gogh. And with Van Gogh, they took all of his paintings and actually made that into a film. So that was actually a Polish production. All right, so we're now in the city center for Łęczyca. And we're gonna walk over to see the castle that's here. Thank you very much, Jenny. Jenny, do you know where in Poland your family is from? I like how colorful it is. That's the thing with these European towns. They're so delightful with like how colorful they are. It looks like my dad and uncle are still figuring out the parking. I want them to take this gimbal so I can run around recording a little bit with my GoPro. Oh wow, your family came through Ellis Island? There's so many parts of Italy I still want to travel. I've traveled quite a bit through Italy, but I haven't done like Tuscany and the south. Pompeii is very high on my list. Ooh, chilly. What? They're saying this is not the pray emoji, this is a high five? Wow, they're really trying to like destroy religion, like any kind of references to religion. Kind of like how they're trying to destroy gender as well. There's no religion, there's no gender. You know, I didn't even know the Sicilian had its own language. Hi, Large Marge. Thanks for coming over. Jenny, are the dialects in Italy similar in so my mom's side is from the Philippines. They have like over 100 dialects and they sound nothing alike. Is that the same thing in with the Italian dialects, that like Sicilian sounds nothing like the rest of the regional languages? And that's really cool that you speak Sicilian. You're the first person I've met that speaks Sicilian. Ah, there they are. Hi, puppy. I am dying to go to the Amalfi Coast. I keep looking at travel videos of the Amalfi Coast, hoping that I can like manifest that into my life. Yeah, I've been to the Philippines many times. Actually, in 2019, I was living there for 4 months, the island of Boracay. I was in a boxing camp there. But I go to the Philippines usually almost every year to every other year since I was a kid. Oh, you know Trieste? Scooter, funny you should mention Trieste. So Trieste is the Italian town that my dad first, when he crossed over from then Yugoslavia, and crossed from Koper to Trieste, and that was the refugee camp that he was at when he got his political asylum when he left Poland and left the Soviet Union. Oh, that's plenty of time. Here, I'm gonna give you the.
Let's go to Zamet.
I'm gonna quickly do the. Or do you want to do this on the way back?
Yeah,
As long as I get
let's
some
go.
video footage here.
Let's
Okay.
go to castle and then whatever time is left you can.
Okay, we'll do the castle first.
A kościół też chcesz zobaczyć?
A tam jest.
Here, Dad.
Tu widziałem ten kościół.
Bernardynów, ale to jest starszy.
A, okej. Już tych kościołów nas zwiedzałem.
A, ja?
Here. You're gonna man the GoPro, or sorry, the that one. I'll man the GoPro instead.
Okay, I have to take over again. We're going towards the castle. You know, if you see this square, it's nice. You know, it's not that big like in Warsaw, but still the buildings are all there. And like I mentioned before, it's about 10 kilometers from my city, Ozorków. Studio.
Plac.
Oh, that's the name of the square.
This is
Plac. In Italian is a piazza. Yeah, piazza. Named Kosciuszko. That's also hero of the United States during the Civil War.
Not the Civil War, American Revolution.
Yeah, American. Oh yeah. That's American Revolution.
Remember, Kosciuszko.
I always getting mixed Civil Revolution with the whatever. Yeah. Now the castle is a museum. I'm sure it's also rebuilt. You know, it's yeah, Kazimierz Wielki. That was Kazimierz the Great in 14th century. But like I mentioned to you, this is only small remains from the big walls of Łęczyca. Yeah, I wonder if they are gonna let us in, at least inside. I don't think completely. Oh, they opening tomorrow. Yeah, they opening tomorrow there. It is closed, but I'm sure we can walk inside here. And this man looks like a little bit like a, I don't know.
Został zniszczony przez Szwedów w 1656-7 roku. Nigdy już nie uzyskał dawnej świetności.
Okay. When the Swedish came, they destroyed this castle, and probably they rebuilt it a little bit, but not that much. Okay.
Turn on your mic.
Oh.
Dopiero po II wojnie tam trochę uzupełniono te mury i ten budynek bramny. Wieże też są wieże budowali w 60 latach. Ja pamiętam. Nie pamiętasz, jak budowali tę wieżę?
Ja, jak byłem tutaj w młodych latach, to
Pobudowali.
dobudowali, ta
I tu
wieża była
część tych murów tam dobudowali, dużo wyrównali. No to było takie wiesz.
Yeah, we are on the yard of the castle here. We cannot go inside because they are opening tomorrow. And as you see, the walls was much higher, but I don't know. They maybe don't have the money to rebuild it completely, or just gonna keep that way. But inside here, they have also shows here. You know, you see people sitting over here, and you know, the actors coming here and playing the games as they did in 1,000 years ago. Okay, so
W sierpniu odbywają się tu na dziedzińcu takie turnieje rycerskie.
yeah,
W połowie sierpnia.
yeah.
Stare dyby zamkniemy może, co?
Huh?
Dyby ją zamkniemy.
Yeah. Yeah, like for the 1,000 years old building, you know, they put a lot of work here, and of course we cannot compare to another city like in Italy or even southern part, you know, where they really did good, nice architecture. And you know, this land was mostly little bit occupied by people later on. The civilization actually was more growing around the Mediterranean Sea, and people start spreading farther and farther just to grow the crops. Yeah, so. Hey, Oklahoma man. Thank you for your statement. Okay, girl, yeah, it's nice to speak a lot of languages, but it's so many languages around that I told my children, you speak actually own language and the international language, so that should be good enough for you, you know.
That's where my parents messed up. There's no reason I shouldn't have grown up being fluent in both Polish and in Tagalog, and assigned for my mom's dialect. But my mom actually said when we were kids, she's like, oh, I didn't want them to be confused. And I'm like, that's not how their brain works. So yeah, I think my parents messed up by not teaching us how to speak when we were kids. My grandmother, both my babcia and my lola, which babcia is grandmother in Polish, and then lola is grandmother in Filipino. So they raised us a lot when we were kids, and so my grandmothers only spoke Polish and Tagalog. So we did get some when we were, 3, 4, 5 years old, but you don't use it, you lose it a little bit. I mean, I can kind of understand from traveling around and just interacting with so many different people that usually when they're saying something, I can guess what they're saying. But yeah, my dad should have taught me how to speak Polish from a young age. Oh yeah.
But one thing, even if you're going around the world, everybody mostly speak English. That's good for Americans that they don't have to learn another language. And myself, maybe my English is not that good, even if I'm 50 years in America. But you know, I still can communicate, and I had a good job in America. So my children are proud that I can help them now to do what they wanted. But even in Warsaw, most of the people speak English now. You know, and people try to learn English because they still want to go to the Western Europe. You know, there is 2 million people, Polish people only in the United Kingdom. You know, and I can estimate like 12 million people, 12 million Polish people in America. You know, so. Large merch. The history of this castle, like I already mentioned to the other people, it is 1,000 years old, and we just came from the church, which is also 1,000 years old, and it's only like 4 kilometers from here, which I understood that there is also tunnel connected, so people can escape either from here to church or from church to here. Okay, I'm not sure how much the story. That's what I heard when I was teenager, that there is some kind of tunnel. I never made sure that it is. Okay, but up to my friend Zbyszek, he told me that this castle actually was completely rebuilt, built during the Kazimierz the Great, which they telling us about that Poland was a wooden country, and Kazimierz the Great built, from more solid from the bricks and stuff like that. They called him the Kazimierz the Great because he actually did a lot for Poland, you know. But I have to tell you that I heard the story that he was a big Casanova, you know.
XIV wiek.
14th century, yeah.
Dokładnie nie wiem, nie pamiętam.
This is how I mimic having a drone.
Przed 1370, bo w 1370 umarł.
Yeah.
W połowie pewno 1340, 45 może.
Maybe so.
Let's see how that looks.
Mury obronne dookoła miasta.
Ja widziałem, że tam były te...
Tak jak tam więzienie jest, to było ta jedna ściana od tej drogi, to był mur obronny. I to do alei szło, wzdłuż alei, do tego kościoła zakręcało to i tu, tu się uczyło.
Ja to mówiłem, że tylko mała jest część zostawiona. A the battery going down?
Yeah, I gotta plug it in.
Yes. Okay, we can go to the square again probably.
Okay. So this is how I am like making my GoPro kind of look weird. So you guys will see when I put this together. I guess I'll see when I put it together what it looks like. All right.
Okay, let's go outside. And I have to tell you that before, if you're looking down, there was water around, you know, and eventually, I don't know if dry out, but this was much deeper than it is now.
Tu był most zwożony.
Yeah.
To się tam zaciekawiło. Tam poszło. Na swoimi ścieżkami chodzi, tak?
Okay. Yeah, we're back to the square, and as I mentioned before, the name is, of this square is Tadeusz Kościuszko, okay? And I explained to you that this is a soldier. I think he was a general, Tadeusz Kościuszko. He also fight with George Washington, and what I understood that he even saved George Washington's life.
Naczelnik powstania kościuszkowskiego
Yeah.
w Polsce.
He also came to Poland and he fought 2 battles with Russians.
W 1794 roku.
Yeah, and in the second battle he was wounded, and Russian forgive his life, but they told him not to come back to Poland, so he left again Poland and never returned again to Poland, and he died in Switzerland. Yeah, Poland has a lot of history, but the thing it is mostly to this time was very hidden. You know, during the communists, of course, the Western countries didn't like the communists in the Eastern Europe, and that's why the opinion was about those countries not favor to the Western countries, even in America. Poland was always criticized, but the way they do, and it took John Paul II to change the history. Finally, Poland got freedom from the Russians, joined the Europe, I left Poland in 1970. There was still communists in large, and I safely I came back first time to visit Poland after 18 years of being in America. Yeah, large Margie. Poland and Hungary are leading the way. Yes, Poland and Hungary are like two brothers. That's in history. Hungary never recognized invading Poland by Germans, and we always been like a brothers between Hungary and we help each other even. So yeah, and at this time, Hungary and Poland, they supporting each other because the EU kind of doesn't favor the Poland and Hungary, and the Polish government and Hungary getting together to oppose this, that the EU favors only Germans and French. Yeah, the Poland still have a queen. The Queen of Poland you see here is a Madonna, Jesus' mother, and was destroyed 1918 roku. Okay, it was when it was destroyed in 1947, it was rebuilt to the original way by the Polish society. Yeah, and Polish people still, well, we have a lot of names of the Mother of Jesus. There is in Częstochowa, Black Madonna, and here is a Polish crown, Queen of Polish crown. Okay, we can go, right? Good enough?
Yeah. I don't have a drone, so I'm making one up with my GoPro.
Okay.
We'll add a
Okay,
little
you can
drone
take it now
music.
because my hand. You wanna take it back?
Sure. I'm sure you guys saw me looking quite silly and everything, but I was like looking up YouTube filmmaker stuff. And then so how to like imitate like a drone kind of effect just using a GoPro. So that's the silliness, me going woo. But it's fun, and I just started shooting with 120, and so that's like a slow-mo effect that adds like a dramatic flair to things, and it looks fantastic. So I'm actually really excited to, now that we're wrapping up our sightseeing day, to go and edit the footage that I took from today. But I hope my dad was, you know, entertaining you guys with a little bit of history. I'm pretty sure we just slap on 1,000 years old whenever we don't know our dates. But all right. I am going to wrap up this stream because my cell phone's about to die, but thank you so much for joining in right now, and I hope you guys, you know, enjoyed a little bit of the beauty that is Poland. Have a great day, or a good night, whatever time it is. I guess it's morning now, right? All right, bye guys.